The wait is over. A team of British scientists believe they have created the most accurate image of what Jesus actually looked like. Using forensic data from the skulls of first-century Jewish men and very high-tech computer software, a British team was able to reconstruct the facial tissues. You can kiss your Eurocentric depiction of Jesus Christ goodbye, because the real thing is a far cry away from the guy you remember, and I remember, and Jose, you remember from church. He looks absolutely nothing like him. You want to see?
Yeah, show me.
Let's get a picture up. This is what he looks like. He looks less like the Jesus I remember. He looks more like the Armenian guy who works at the deli around the corner from number 64. I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know how they got here. What do you say?
It makes sense. I mean, we all know that the European image that Jesus Christ is depicted by, it's the result of selective telling of the story and editing and politics of who this is message crafted for. So he looks a lot more time appropriate and ethnicity appropriate for the region where these perhaps historical events happen. Right. That's another discussion. But what's the technique that they use to achieve this result?
Oh, it's actually really cool. And you're right. I mean, it makes more sense. I mean, given the time and the area he was at, but it's still confusing for a child like myself. I was raised being told that Jesus was black, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing this. So I got to adjust. I got to take everything back and then reprocess everything.
Ben Carson is with you, though.
Ben, good. I'm glad. He's always with me. Here's the science behind it. It's actually really cool. So they got some skulls from Semites in northern Israel. They got 3 skulls, and they started to analyze these skulls. They took these very high-powered X-rays of the skulls, they put it into the computer and made 3D images, 3D models, and then as far as the hair and the facial, the hair on your head and the facial hair on your face goes, they took that from depictions of people, drawings from way back then. Okay. So that, as far as the facial hair goes, I think it was a complete guess, but they can infer from older drawings and stuff that they have. And that's really all they do have to go by. I mean, you can't do any sort of tests on a skull.
The shape of the skull in itself is very telling. Yeah, right. Definitely different bone structure than European from 19th century than, closer to what it looks now, 19th, 18th century looking like than the 1st century.
But Jose, it's bullshit. I mean, think about it. If they, in the future, wanted to go back and say, oh, what does, a white guy in 2015 look like, right? They would go and find 3 skulls. I mean, how close could they really get? If they're trying to find what I looked like, they get 3 random skulls that they find somewhere in some cemetery in LA, and they're like, might be what Nick looks like from these skulls that we found. I mean, billions of people.
But here's the thing, the genetic mix was not as diverse back then than it is today. So those samples from that area, they are more close to the historical reality than the mixture that is today, because it's so widespread and people have combined in between the races so much that is different than the 1st century where that was not the case.
I don't think, our grandmas are going to want to have this guy's face on the calendar in the kitchen, though. He's not very welcoming to the house,
Good luck telling the Vatican to update the materials.
Yeah, good luck. Well, there you go. There you have it, people. That's the real Jesus.